Everything's all good. Like, see how everything on the screen's popping up?
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't get nervous.
You can do it.
Nothing's gonna happen. We're not big yet to the point where you can get canceled.
I'll get fired from my job.
No, I doubt it.
JK Magic. I'll teacher from blah, blah, blah.
That's how we blow up on ABC 30. That's how we get verified.
Right.
Damn.
Oh my God.
I'm going to be knocking on your door Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon. Hello, can I join your podcast? We do another one. Yeah.
Holy shit. Well,
All right, well, welcome back to another episode. I'm with my boy Martin.
I'm with Ramon, and we got a special guest, my mother-in-law, Mary Helen.
Hi.
So on this episode,
Yes, Kat. Thank you, Kat. Thank you.
I'm like, where's the applause button? Someone show me what color.
Yeah,
it
Just edit
should
it.
say on the thing. If not, I'll edit it.
just edited it.
So we wanted to have you on to talk about a little bit about yourself, a little bit about what you do career-wise. We could get deep with it if you would like. It's up to you. It's a completely your episode, however you want to steer it. We do have some questions. We do have ways that we want to steer this episode.
Okay.
But it's entirely just up to you.
Okay.
So don't get nervous.
So we're all going to get up and dance after?
Maybe Ramon.
Let me get this wine in me. We can go outside.
Get up and dance.
Turn on the lights, start a bonfire.
Ramon does that every Saturday.
Right? That's what I hear.
Every Saturday, dance, a bonfire. No.
That's
Gets drunk.
That's what I hear.
Him and Ivan.
That's what he does. He's laying on his bed right now. That's his bed.
Oh, yeah, this is the bed I sleep in.
He'll sleep like that. Just
Yeah. I'll just come in here and sit down and just be sleeping like this.
But
And
you
then
know
he'll
what?
wake
The,
up.
the couches are super comfortable.
No, yeah, don't get me wrong. They're super comfortable.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Well, how was your week? How's your week been? Been stressful?
Stressful. Very stressful. It's been a stressful year,
Yeah.
teaching-wise. Yeah, very stressful. I have a lot of behavior issues in my class. So
Okay. Just struggle this year or what?
I think so, more than years in the past. I have like 4 major behavior issues, and it's just tough. It's just tough. The scores aren't going to be what they were last year because we have to stop. I have to stop teaching and redirect and call the office because this kid just ran out my class, or this one is
Runs out of your class.
This kid,
runs out of my class.
this kid is choking his cousin.
What the
Right,
hell?
right.
the
Oh
sun
no,
choking him out.
we've had subs.
choke kids
No,
out.
no.
I was about to say, yo.
No.
Nah.
Get threatened by kids. There's this one last week. She got an Indian burn by the same kid twice. Yeah, it's bad. And just things like that. Kids throwing tantrums like they're 2 years old.
What the heck?
Other kids just
God.
just running out
And
and
they can't do anything about it, or do they just report it?
we try. They call parents but I've had there was this one student, I called home. I said, hey, Mom, this is going on in class. Do you have any tips or tricks that you can help me out with in class? Like, give me some of the strategies you use at home so I can implement them here. And she's like, well, your guess is just as good as mine. And that's all I got.
Okay.
And so we're left to deal with it at school.
That's wild. The way my mom and dad would have beat my ass if my teacher called and been like, hey, your kid's misbehaving. But they're just at home doing the same shit they're doing at school.
And they do intervention.
Yeah.
They try to do intervention and counseling at school, but it's just more than that. These kids need more than that. And
I never heard that intervention thing back when I was in school.
No, I
I didn't
didn't
have
either.
none of the. They were just like a.
I remember the phone
home.
calls. I
Yeah,
remember the
just
phone
that,
calls.
what
Like,
did
I
they send you
never-
just to detention? Or
But I think
Yeah.
our
Just
intervention
to
was like
that.
RC or like
Yeah.
losing from
RC
Friday.
and all that
Or
stuff.
losing lunch.
Yeah.
These kids
Or
do not
losing lunch
care.
detention.
They do not care if they lose Fun Friday. They do not care. It's nothing. That's nothing to them. It's,
They have it way better than us, bro.
Yeah.
or even
No, 'cause
get them
I
suspended.
I remember they would call my parents, and when I would get home, I'd get ass whooped from both of them. I would get my ass whooped from my mom, and then I thought I would be done, but then my dad would come home, and then he would whoop my ass right after.
You said I never did that again, though.
No, I was.
No, I still did it.
I was a good girl. I never got in trouble.
You never got in trouble?
I never got in trouble in school either.
No.
I got in trouble one time. Mom, what was it for?
Okay, so I think if I remember right, that you said that this kid had a big burrito.
Yes.
Cat was a bully.
In 5th grade.
That was the only time. And
I
she
think
I think you even
I
came home and
confessed.
confessed.
I want to come home and cry because I got RC.
Yeah, she was distraught. She was more distraught than the kid was distraught.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was the only
I told you
time.
guys, they thought I was lying when I said I only got in trouble once. It's for
Yeah, no.
telling
No,
a
but
kid he
I
had a
knew
big
that you were a
burrito.
good. You were a good kid.
Thank you so
You
much.
gave me that good kid,
That good kid vibe.
That good kid
Yeah.
vibe. I was a good kid
Yeah.
vibe.
Good kid vibe.
like the ones that they don't
Just don't get
in trouble.
at all. Like,
How
just
that's
mind their own.
me.
Like stick to
we're
like
quiet.
quiet. Like stick to books. Book
They're
smart.
like mentally
or like
impaired.
the ones that follow the rules, like the school rules and classroom
I love
rules and
those
all that
kids in
stuff.
class.
The teacher's pet.
Yeah, the ones that are like, oh,
Fuck you guys, I'm not a teacher's pet.
Go. You know what I mean? Just like that. But damn.
No, I have a few of those. They're the best. Every year.
Those
every
poor
year.
kids are getting bullied.
No. Everyone likes them. They're the best. They're good.
Every teacher likes them. Every kid hates them.
Every kid is trying to copy their homework. That's what that is.
I remember every kid that was like the teacher's pet or like the teacher's favorite.
You got
pick on.
bullied?
We would pick on them and be like, "You fucking."
I was like, I
Bad kid vibe.
Yeah. I was a bad kid. I was a bad
You got in
kid.
trouble all the time.
I got in
silver
trouble
tooth
with that.
activities. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I didn't have silver
Silver
tooth. But yeah.
I did have one of my kids be one of those.
That's my brother Julian.
Yeah.
That's who she's adding. She's adding Julian.
The principal or the teacher would call home and, Miss Navarro, I have to tell you. But beforehand, Julian would already tell me. So I was like, you better be telling me the truth because I'm gonna fight for you. And if you're not telling me the truth, he's like, no, Mom, it's not my fault. It's not my fault.
I think that's what we were good at. When we did get in trouble, we just confessed. Because we were like, if they hear from us first, it's not going to be that bad. So every time something happened, we just
Fuck, I wish
confessed.
I had that. Even when I was saying the truth, my mom whooped my ass.
Dead ass. I wish I had that ability too. I didn't have that.
Do better.
No, hell no. My mom would be like, "Oh, I think there was one time that the teacher, I think Kat ended up telling me that Chacho ended up having that same teacher too, Miss."
Yeah.
We hated her. We had her name,
yeah,
but fuck her.
No, wait, no.
The little Asian lady? Yeah, fuck her.
Yeah, no, she
Remember her being mad.
she always had an issue with me. She treated me like shit, and she would pick on me all the time. And
Why
then,
would she do?
so I remember there was this one time that she had gone through my desk, and she was just like, she had pulled out all my paper, and she left it on the desk, and she was
Did
like,
you have a messy desk all the time?
no, it's just that she just pulled it out because I forgot what it was. I think it was because like I didn't do my homework or I didn't turn in my homework. I had it done, but she just got fed up with it, and I think as a kid, I think I had ADHD and I had like other shit too, but
None of the teachers recognize it?
no. Well, I think they did, but my mom never got me tested. Like I would just be disrupted, but not on purpose. It's just kind of like how it happened.
That's how my one student is. They put him on half days, thinking that the thing was that the mom was going to go or the parents were going to go take him to the doctor. Well, of course, these parents are not very responsible, and they didn't take him to the doctor. So then he came back full time. Still the same issues, still the same problem.
Yeah, and it got bad to the point where my mom and dad both had to go to the classroom and just be there in the morning, sit with me, and nothing would happen, nothing would go wrong. And then as soon as they left, she would have issues with me, or she would start acting out with me. And it was just like so weird because when they were there, she would act so nice, she would act so helpful, but when she wasn't there, she would act like a bitch towards me and like really fucked up towards me. And I would tell my mom, and my mom wouldn't fucking believe me. She would believe everything the teacher would say. Yeah, and then it wasn't until the following year that I had a different teacher, and my grades were different. The teachers were more patient with me, more one-on-one, and she was more how can I say it?
Like hands-on.
More hands-on and more like had a great connection with my mom. She was white, but she spoke perfect Spanish. Yeah, so she would talk to my mom, and my mom was just like, well, why weren't you like this last year? And I was like, well, I told you. And it wasn't until like I think that same teacher, her name was Miss Hagen. She ended up telling my mom that Miss because of an investigation went on at the school.
I think talking to his mom too. I think his mom said because Martin was an EL kid, so he was an English learner, and I think she just didn't know how to do it or didn't have the patience for it. So then when his mom was there, she was like on it. And then when she left, she wasn't. So I think
only or a handful of EL kids.
In that class were there other EL learners or no?
I think so. I think there was like 2 or 3.
Well, see, I think that's a difference because where we're at, there's 15 in my class. So we deploy. And so it's not, that's like the norm. It's not out of the norm to have EL students in my class. So maybe she didn't. That doesn't make it right, but,
Yeah.
you know.
No, I think it was very common because Adi had issues as well. So did Cynthia.
I think the common thread is they were all EL kids. I think
Yeah.
that was like her flaw was that they were all EL kids.
And then too, also, I mean, I'm sure you know probably too, Kat, but just some students you mesh well with and others
Yeah, others you're like, don't look at me today.
don't. There's others that you just don't. Your personalities clash, and I mean, either way, you're supposed to be fair and equitable with as a teacher, you know, with your students. But not in saying that, you know, just like
Not every student's fair and equitable with you.
right, and not only you know, like even I mean, it's just life in general. Like there's people that you get along with better in life, you know, in life than others.
I have a student like that right now. I'm not going to say his name, but he is in 6th grade and he comes to our class and he does nothing. Like nothing.
Not
and
at
we're
all?
like, no, at all. He comes in and he's all happy and he's excited and he's like excited to see us. Hi, good morning, blah, blah, blah. And then we sit down and we're like, okay, you're working on math today. And he's like, no, I'm not. Okay, but we are. We're doing math today. And then we'll be like, put your name and date on the paper, and he'll write your name and date on the paper. Or then we gave him an assessment for like, we have to test his goals. So we gave him assessments and it says solve. And after solve period, he put no. And then he turned it in.
He said no.
He's like, I'm done.
Keeping it nice and sweet. I like it.
Yeah, so he wrote, so on the paper, we know it's his, but on the paper it says your name and date, and then it says solve, no, solve, no, solve, no, and it's like 6 questions.
Well, at least he's picking up the pen and paper because
Truly.
I have students
Who don't?
who refuse.
Yeah.
And at this point, you're disrupting others from learning because you're causing a distraction. So go sit over there.
And figure it out.
If he's drawing at this point, like that's what you're going to do because I have 20-something other kids that I need to focus on. I'm not going to take away their education or that's doing a disservice from him distracting them. And it's
Yeah.
just, so at least your kid is at least putting this.
Yeah,
something
and then
on
there are
the
several days where he's like, I'm not going to do anything. I said, okay, then we're going to stay here with our head down. And that's literally what he does. And he's like, what time is it? Because I only see him for half an hour. So he'll put his head down every like 5 minutes. He's like, what time it is? What time is it? What time is it? What time is it? And I was like, you have 10 more minutes. He's like, can I just leave early? I'm not going to do anything in here. And I'm like, no. So then he sits there and he puts his head down and then he starts banging his head on the desk and then,
Imagine what a classroom teacher deals with.
no. Well, he gets upset with us because we pull him out during science. And he likes science, but we can't change his time because all our morning times are for the lower graders, and he's in 6th grade.
Oh.
So
Literally, I have kids in my class that are punching the wall. Punching the
And
wall.
Ramon would fit that
What
category.
the hell? Hold on.
that sounds like Ramon today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just punched it. And then another one on Friday, he was hitting his. I told him to stand outside. He was being very disrespectful, distracting. And he just stood outside and he was just banging his head.
Man was going through it.
I'm sick and tired of this
Man was
shit.
going through it. He was just
Like,
like,
literally,
yeah.
I had already talked to his dad. His dad was going to take his phone away for a month, he said, or something like
That's
that.
what did it. They were going to take away his phone. He's like, that's it. It's over for me.
Not the
Not the phone.
He said, all right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And so he was banging his head on the wall. And the other one was punching by the lights. And
You're like, it is never this serious. Get it together.
Yeah.
Get it
You're
together.
30 years old. There's bigger fish to fry.
Dude, you don't even know what's going to come when you graduate high school. Relax.
Oh,
Right. He's not even, in junior high or anything yet. Can you imagine?
You have not hit puberty. Why are you stressed?
Can you imagine when they hit that age?
Imagine all the anger issues that they got.
for real?
Yeah, and he's only 8. They're
Oh,
only 8.
shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Well, you guys know what we're going to get into today. So let's go ahead and let's roll the intro.
We them broke boys from the hood. We on them missions, understood. Won't catch us lacking, we that good. We always winning like we should. We flying high, we butterfly up to the sky. No way you catching us goodbye. Pray to God we make it out alive. I'll never leave my dogs behind. We stick
All right, so we got some questions that we wanted to ask you. So we know
The
that.
easy ones first.
So we know that your job is very stressful. So how do you deal with stress?
I drink a lot. No, just kidding.
It's like I chug wine on the
And that's why
weekend.
she has the wine right now.
It doesn't really go away.
Mm.
My go-to though, like leaving school, my go-to every single day is just decompressing on my way from work. Like it's a 20-minute drive, so that in that 20 minutes I'm able to bump Cardi B or
I was like, she's playing the raunchiest music she has on her phone, and she's saying every word to that song.
Yeah, bump Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, whatever, Spanish music, whatever the vibe is, and that helps me decompress. But
Yelling at kids, next thing you know, cumbias just sound
or rolling up. My friend and I have a joke. We roll up playing some ghetto music, and then we have to roll the windows up when we get to school. Good morning, class. So yeah, I guess that's my way. It just doesn't go away because it's always in your back of your mind. How can you make this better? How can I get this kid where he needs to be? Where can I? It's always just something that's there. But yeah, wine helps a lot, and music. So yeah,
Okay.
that's how I deal with it.
Okay.
What was like the most craziest incident you ever had in your classroom?
Craziest incident. I think this year is probably like the banging of the head, things like that. There's been a couple times I've had to call CPS.
Oh, damn.
Damn.
Yeah, a few times, or one time this year, and then a few times before in the past. But craziest golf cart story.
Oh my God,
you
you're
guys can tell both those stories.
Okay, so, but another teacher at the school that my mom used to work at, she taught first grade, and there was a little boy who would like touch himself in the back of the class. So the teacher would like catch
While
him.
he's sitting down.
Well, yeah, so he'd be sitting at his desk, and it looks like he's like trying to grab something from his desk, but he's like touching himself. So then the teacher would be like, hands up. And he'd have to put his hands up. And she did that like multiple times a day, right? Like it was off, like
She
frequent.
would just turn it, hands up.
And like out of nowhere, like hands up, and he just put his hands up, and then she would like continue teaching or whatever. But that was like what she had to deal with, and she was always like, wash your hands, like sanitize, like do all that, because he was just doing all that, and she was trying to teach like reading.
Poor
They're
kid.
looking to let her be, and he's just in the back of the class.
They should
Like,
get him for that Blue Chew commercial.
For real, bro. That little kid. Oh my God.
yeah, so she would say hands up, and he'd have to put both his hands
And
like.
he's in first grade
up.
at this point, right?
Yeah, he was in first grade.
Yo, he got here early then, bro. Holy
Yeah,
He's watching those X-rated movies too.
That's
early.
disgusting.
Who knows what he was watching?
yeah. Or I was like, or if something was happening to him, like no one knows.
That is.
He's so little.
Nah,
He's little.
Let's keep it a book. He got here early with that. Let's be honest. He got here early
Or
with
something was happening at home, and he was just
Maybe it was just
Maybe-
self-discovery.
that. Walked
yeah.
in, hey, he probably walked into his parents. Not even cap.
that's
That's
disgusting.
what probably
That's too dark. I don't want to picture that, bro. My imagination's already picturing.
All right, we're done. Mom, your golf cart story. Please share.
So I transferred from one district to the other district, and I was so excited to be there. It was my first year at this district, and I had high hopes, but I got placed at, I would say, like
The roughest school in the district.
non-desirable school. So I said, okay, I'm gonna make the best of it. A lot of issues, but I taught second grade there, and when I was there was so many kids. Just at the end of the year, I ended up taking stress leave because this girl, the little girl, she pushed a chair into me, and then that same girl, or was it different? There was, yeah, she ended up the principal and the vice principal stroll around on a golf cart, and so they stole the golf cart. They like literally took the golf cart and like were driving it around, and I was like, hey, like I told him, hey, my student ran out, and so when he or she ran out, I don't remember if it was that one or another one, but when they ran out, the golf cart was gone. So there was a kid
They were
in
running
the
after the
grass
golf cart.
area with the golf cart. I'm like, this is ridiculous. How does this happen? It was I tried to transfer out of that school, but there was like 15 people, and I was low man on the totem pole at that time. But there was like 15 people trying to transfer out to a different school. I was, needless to say, I moved district.
For 1 year.
Yeah, those kids were off the
Yeah.
hook. They're bad, and it didn't help that the principal, he was a vice principal from another school. He became principal that year. He just couldn't relate to the kids. He was in a predominantly not Caucasian school, and
Okay.
so he couldn't relate. There was parents coming. There was parents coming to the cafeteria trying to fight 6th grade students at this school. And so
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Sounds about
yeah.
right.
I mean, hey, stick up for your kid and all, but come on, like adults trying to fight like 6th grade kids, come on.
I worked at the non-desirable middle school, right in the same district, and there were 2 girls that fought, and they're in like 7th grade, right? So they fought, and then I worked at the after-school program. So over the walkie, like the admin walkie-talkie,
Yeah.
they were like, "We need the liaisons at the front office," and they were like, "We have parents fighting." So the moms of the girls that just fought were fighting each other in front of the office.
Sounds right.
So then I stuck my head out of my window because I'm nosy. One thing about me, I'm gonna see it. I stuck my head out, and there were 2 moms like dead ass squaring up with each other in front of the office
Cats in the
with their
corner.
2 kids that just fought.
Stop it.
Dude,
Stop it.
it was crazy. I was like, it is never
my
that
whistle.
serious. Yeah, it was funny.
Oh
Anyways, it was
gosh,
crazy.
yeah, there's some crazy stuff that happens. I'm telling you. If you're not at the school, you don't. Yeah, some crazy stuff.
Where was this at when I was in school? I didn't see none of this.
I saw a
You're
lot
in
of it.
detention.
You were in detention.
Nah, I wasn't even. Yeah, middle school I was, but like even though like I never like hear anybody steal like the security golf carts at middle school.
You don't remember that?
At that same middle school, they stole the VP's walkie-talkie, and they were like making threats over the walkie-talkie to all the admins.
I did hear that.
So like, I shouldn't be saying this, but I'm gonna say it. So, but we did stupid shit. I remember all that shit.
You remember all that?
Yeah,
I was a good kid. I didn't do none of
I
that.
remember like there's a lot of stuff though, like food fights, like people getting sock with
You know,
powder.
people telling people about their big burrito.
Fuck, you just don't let me live it down. My best friend's mom still brings it up when I like see her. I'm like, dude, it's been years. I hope he's well.
I'm never gonna forget that kid because he smacked the other kid with the fucking textbook.
Yeah, see, middle school was something else. Middle school was something else.
That's why I will not teach above
middle
like
school.
4th, 5th grade. I will not.
I don't even think you won't teach above 3rd grade.
Yeah, to be honest, 4th and 5th, even 4th and 5th. Oh my gosh, so bad.
I think you'd like it. I feel like you should try it just
It
1
takes
year.
certain people to do
Just 1 year. Just try it.
upper grade, and I'm not that person.
I think you can, but teach their own.
I'm not.
Sounds like being a teacher's hard.
Oh,
Not
it is.
gonna lie.
Yeah.
Just hearing all this.
I was not a menace.
Hope you guys feel great about yourselves.
It's like, to be honest,
He's gonna go cry in the corner. He's gonna go bang his head in the wall.
Man, just start.
just walk out right now.
Go wait outside.
If money was no object, what would you have in your classroom and why?
What would I have?
Why'd you look at me and laugh? What'd you have? What was your first thought? Why'd you look at me and laugh?
She's like alcohol.
She's like a Dr. Pepper dispenser.
No, crushed ice. No.
Honestly.
She used the soda machine.
No, if money was that's a hard one. I don't know.
Because I know there's teachers that always. I remember too. Like, there'd be teachers that'd be like, "Oh, like I spent my own money to get all this stuff because the school didn't want to provide it or stuff like that,"
Which is very common.
which is very common.
But like, what fun thing would you want in your class? Like, if money wasn't an object.
because I feel like I'm, like with technology, like there's so much I have available to me.
True that. I was thinking like, go ahead.
I wouldn't say it's anything that I can buy, but I would have my students come to me on grade level. It's like the teacher answer, right?
Yeah,
that's-
but you can't do
that's
that, and you can't do that with money.
That's exactly what I would do. It doesn't cost money. I'd have all my kids come to me ready to learn the grade level that I'm trying to teach.
That's fair. I was thinking like a beanbag chair for every student, or like accessible seating, or like lights to make the class pretty, or like
I do that anyway.
oh, I know, but like something fun. Dr. Pepper dispenser.
Yeah, I would say Sonic Ice Machine
Truly.
and a Dr. Pepper dispenser for me.
Did you see that video, Mom, on TikTok? And it was like the 94-year-old, and it said, or no, I think she was 104, and the secret was drinking 1 cup of Dr. Pepper a day.
What?
Yeah, Chacho sent it to me on TikTok. It was like a
And then what
news
was,
interview.
She lived longer?
She's like 104. That was her. Chacho sent it to me on TikTok today. I said, Mom's gonna live forever.
Right? Because every day in my Stanley Cup, Sonic Ice and a little bit of Dr. Pepper will do the job. Yeah.
So without saying any names, but tell me about the worst teacher that you've have worked with
Or that you've had.
or that you've had.
Well, I would say my first year teaching, I taught kindergarten in my first district. I taught kindergarten at a lower income school. And so I taught the overflow, so I was a PM kinder teacher. And the teacher that taught AM, she had been there probably already like 15, 16 years, so she was well, she had her routine, she was with it. Well, she used me as kind of her assistant. And so I ran her copies. I was her little gopher. It was my first year, and I just felt like she was using me. But, and I just felt like she had me run certain groups. She had me do this, like I was her teacher's assistant. And I was the teacher for PM. I still had my stuff to do.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was especially coming in as a first-year teacher, nervous, wanting to please everybody. And so there I was, running those damn copies at like 5 o'clock in the night. Or making things on the, making worksheets or whatever it was. So I feel that. And then I have a few coworkers that have not held their end of the bargain. Like they haven't held. I have to do the workload for them because, because I'm in that position. And so.
Because they're slacking.
Yeah, I guess, without saying it. But that's it.
Okay.
Not too bad,
But do you have to take care of that? You can't tell them like, hey, why don't you take care of your own workload or?
To toot my mom's own horn, she's the grade level lead. So she kind of oversees the other
So she
teachers in
kinda
her
has
grade
to do
level.
it?
So she kind of has to.
Okay.
So it kind of falls on me. So if like the principal or the vice principal, like, hey, your grade level, who are they going to? They're going to me. And so I have to be accountable for the rest of the team. And so if it doesn't get done, guess who's doing it? I'm doing it.
Okay.
And so that's kind of stressful sometimes, but
That makes sense.
I have a really good team, so they help out a lot. We're there for each other, and yeah.
She said we're besties this year.
Especially because we're all in the same boat because we have so many behavior kids. We vent to each other and stuff. So yeah.
If you had any wisdom to pass around your class, or you had to pick like one student to give like perfect wisdom to, who would it be?
Like a student, or
Yeah.
what would the wisdom be?
Yeah, what would the wisdom be, and like who would the student be that you would pick out of everybody in your class?
She's like, shut the fuck down.
Stop fucking fidgeting.
I told you, don't bump your head.
You bumped your head one too many times. The wisdom I would pass to them would be to stay in school. I mean, I guess that's a generic teacher.
Stay in school, yeah.
Generic teacher answer, but like I tell them all the time, like what you're learning in this grade, you're gonna need in the other. You're gonna need, because I teach third. You're gonna need it in 4th, 5th, 6th, in 7th grade, 8th grade. You're gonna need what I'm teaching you And if you don't know it, you're going to be so behind. And so I give that lecture to them all the time, because it builds. And so if they don't know multiplication, guess what? They're going to fucking have a hard time in 7th and 8th grade, in 4th grade, in 5th grade, and all those years. They're just going to struggle.
Ramon still struggles.
Because I didn't pay attention. That's why I'm gonna be honest. Like I regret not paying attention. Like I should have paid attention if I'm being completely honest. I would listen to what other people would tell me, be like, nah, like don't focus on this instead. I would be the guy to be like, fuck it. So I listen to them and I'd be like, damn. Now I look back, I'm just like,
damn, I don't know 4 times 5.
Yeah, see, I should have been like,
Yeah, he doesn't know math. Like, and I'd be like, hey, what's 10 times 10?
He pulled out his calculator for everything.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Deadass.
Ramon,
I'm
stop.
just like, oh shit.
I'm trying to teach him mental math. I'm like,
my
sit here
gosh.
right now.
Nah, facts, and that's true. Like,
30 minutes for intervention time.
No, yeah, and I'll be
Start
like,
the clock.
oh shit. And I'll be
Yeah.
like, hold on, give me a second on that. And I'll get it like, all right, here it is. And they're like, damn, it took you down. I'm like, relax, guys, relax.
I have my iPhone. I have it.
No, but yeah, that's the one thing I do regret, though.
Well, I think it's different too. Like from the way I learn things is different from the way I teach them now, right? Like you guys, I think you guys are part of that.
Yeah. Common Core kind of messed everything up. 'Cause before, when I was in school, they switched to Common Core my senior year, and I hated it because I was like, I didn't learn this way. So like when they were trying to teach it to us, we already learned the old way, so it was like hard to switch over. But now that I'm learning to be a teacher, I'm learning how to teach Common Core, and I get why they switched it. But there are still some older kids that only know the old way. So then they're struggling to like catch up with the new way. And then the teachers have to grade them on Common Core. So then they're getting lower grades, not because they don't know it, because they're not showing their work the way that they're like thinking it.
So during parent conferences, I have this discussion with some of my parents that, well, how come you don't give homework? How come you don't give? And I said, well, there's a fine example. Like, one, it's research based. Like, it's
Homework doesn't do shit.
yeah. So second of all, I always give the example of Kat and her grandpa. Like, her grandpa was, I don't know how old, 60 something when you guys would go over there after school. He would try to show you how to multiply or add, whatever concept you were learning, and he would show you with beans.
Mm-hmm.
But it would confuse Kat. And, well, Kat's not very good at math either, but that's a side note.
I'm dyslexic.
But
Thank you, though.
But he was trying to show her how to do this the way he learned.
Yeah.
But in school, they were teaching her a different way.
She couldn't find the beans.
But I think that was a struggle because I learned, he taught me his way.
Right.
Like, I was there every day after school. So I taught the way I learned the way my abuelo taught me. And then I went to school.
Where are the frijoles?
Yeah. And I went to school and I had to draw everything because my grandpa showed me with beans. So I visually had to see that there were 2 groups of 5 that equal 10. And that's how I did it. So I had to draw everything out for math.
So I give my parents that example that, like, I teach it different than probably that they learned how. So, and I've had parents come to me even just like a month ago say, you know what, how are you teaching her here? Because when I teach her, she says she's confused. And I said, that's the reason I don't give homework. I said, whatever, multiplication facts, whatever. But I don't give homework because the way I teach it here at school is different than the way parents do it. So it's just going to confuse the kid. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I don't do it. Not only that, like parents, there's a lot of working parents that don't have the time to sit there with their kid or don't have the
fucking patience for it.
They don't have the language. They don't have the know-how. It's just, and I'd rather do it at school.
I remember, I don't know if you've seen the TikTok, I think I reposted it, of this dude that does like, what Mexican moms, Hispanic moms, what they did. And there was one that he was showing like, when my mom would try to show me or help me with my math homework.
Yeah.
And she was like, mira, a ver, así lo haces. ¿Por qué no lo entiendes?
Yeah.
Tú vas a la escuela, eres pendejo.
Yeah.
And I was just like, bro, like that took me flashbacks because I remember that.
Yeah, no, that's facts.
Yeah, and I would get confused and she would be like, well, you go to school, like, you know this. Why don't you know this shit? Yeah. And I was like, well, I don't know. Like, I'm confused. Yeah. I remember Cynthia would have to tell me. Cynthia would have to try to teach it. And then Cynthia would be like, I don't even know. Like, I'm barely learning. Like, she would be ahead. She would be like, well, I'm learning, like, algebra, so I don't really remember what math you're doing or what stuff you're doing. So then I think I remember I'd have to teach myself or figure out ways to figure it out on my own.
Yeah, and that's so stressful for kids. And not only that, the language.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I have kids at my school that are learning 3 languages, English, they have Spanish at home, and their primary language is Mixteco.
Mm-hmm.
And so, how does that relate? How is a parent going to help the student in reading? I mean, I tell them, even in your language, have them read the book, however the student can read it. Have the English, Spanish, whatever, but ask them questions if you don't know how. Do it that way if you don't know the language. But
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot kids need at home and that they just don't get.
Yeah, no, it's tough.
Mm-hmm.
If you could be anyone for a day, living or deceased, who would you be and why?
Why is the first person that came to my mind was like a Kardashian?
No,
I want to see how they live, how they do things.
Came to my mind, and I don't
Who?
know why. Is Oprah?
That's solid.
Mm.
That's solid.
That's a solid choice.
No, you know why? Because like she has money, right? First of all, but
But she's like knowledgeable. Like she's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
yeah,
she got
she's
something going for
very
her.
Like she's
she's woke.
influencer. Like she was an influencer before the influencer. I think. Like,
She was woke.
Yeah,
Mm.
That's a good ass answer.
I would say Oprah
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
because I have. Yeah.
Ian, the Fix My Life.
That would be number 2.
I don't think I'd want to be her though. I think I'd hurt my own feelings.
No, I want her to spit some game. Like
I start crying. She started talking to me. I'll start crying.
Yeah. No, I feel like if Oprah were to talk or even to have a sit down, it'd be like a reality check.
it'd be deep.
Yeah,
I
it'd be
feel
deep.
like that's so. She's so cool, and the fact that she has so much money, she's like doing her own
But
thing.
yeah, she can do whatever.
She like has her own, lives in her own castle, and she's just chilling.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's
I'm
a good
gonna
answer.
Solidly say Oprah.
That's a good one.
That's a
What
good
about
one.
you? What about you guys?
Ooh,
Ooh, turn.
Ooh,
that's
I
a
like
deep
it.
one. That's a deep one. For me, I don't know. Because I am a fan of like Eric Thomas. And like Eric Thomas is one of the most influential motivational speakers. And like you ever listen to him, and I've always recommended it to people. Obviously it's not for everybody, but it's more of like that heart to heart, like, you can be lazy or you're gonna sit there and you're actually gonna do your fucking work,
Yeah.
So you take accountability of your own actions. And I feel like if I would be in his shoes or even be in that mentality, like I could excel to a different level.
Good answer. Good answer.
Go, Raymond.
I
Raymond's gonna be like Juice WRLD.
Nah, not even. I just have no idea though. To be honest, if I'm being real with y'all, like I don't know who I would pick. If I'm being completely honest, I never.
You're lying. Use your brain.
Nah, I'm being legit.
Okay.
Figure it
Well,
out.
think of it.
Listen, I'm gonna use my teacher voice, so we'll come back to you in a little bit.
Oh,
Okay, we're gonna listen. We're gonna hear Kat and we'll
Period.
come back to you. So you think about your answer.
oh.
See, there's one that's like, okay, I want to be like Oprah, but you said Oprah, and I didn't think of her. So like, okay, there's she gives like seminars, I guess, and her name's Gail Gorky. She's a presenter, and I learned about her through my old job because we had to do like monthly seminars, and I always signed up for hers because she's just so insightful about like.
And she's a motivational speaker.
Not motivation. She's like more education, like SEL, like social emotional learning, and she was more like the way she explained things and the way that she's been in the field for like damn near 50 years, and she like compiled all her work into like these slideshows, and she shared the slideshows with us, and it was like so much knowledge about like emotions and kids and like their background and how it plays into how they learn and how it plays into like where they come from affects how they learn, and then like how where they learn affects what they take home and like start with their family, and like it was like this whole big circle thing. So I would say her,
Nice.
but then I would say the Kardashians because like I just want to be rich for a day. So I just want to see what her life is like. Kim Kardashian, to be specific.
That's interesting.
Nice.
I don't want to be there forever. Just a day in the limelight and then peace the fuck out. But
I'd choose Chloe over.
But I feel like Kim is more on the go. Like I want to see what her life is like. You know what would be cool too? Kris Jenner. What does she do every day?
Yeah.
Like just follow her kids around? I'm trying to be like, I want to see that.
That's interesting.
He's like, I don't know who that is. Anyways, yeah, Gail Gorky.
Ramon, you're back in the hot seat.
Damn.
Back to Ramon.
I'd say like to be like the one person for a day. I think I'd probably just Juice. To be honest, Juice WRLD.
Juice WRLD?
Yeah.
Did I not just say that? I said
No,
Ramon's
you
gonna say
did.
Juice WRLD.
Nah, you did, but like,
I don't even know.
Tell
what
my mom
that
who
is.
Juice WRLD is.
so Juice WRLD is like he's an African American rapper. He sings, he makes music about what he's going through on a day-to-day basis, what
Like
he's going through,
mental
struggles,
health.
Kind of like
mental,
Rod Wave.
A little bit more
a
deeper than
little bit
Rod
more
Wave.
deeper than Rod Wave.
His,
Yeah.
yeah. I like
Yeah.
Rod Wave too.
Juice
Yeah.
WRLD passed away at 21.
Yeah,
Yeah.
21.
Juice WRLD is more like from my perspective. It's like more of like the mental like
Men's
men's
illness.
mental health, like men's mental health,
I see.
like about like depression and like the things he
Abuse of
like
drugs.
yeah, he was like a drug, he got into drugs young, like he got fame kind of young, and he kind of
Yeah.
just he passed away when he was 21 because he overdosed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he talked about heartbreak. Like you're like
And his name is Juice WRLD.
His name is Juice WRLD.
he named, so he got his rapper name Juice from obviously the Tupac movie Juice. That's why he got that, and then he added the world from who was it? Was it from Lil Uzi Vert, or it was from someone else?
Someone
else influenced him.
commented, on
Yeah,
it.
so that's why he combined it to Juice WRLD. But yeah, he had a lot of problems with mental health, anxiety, depression. He talked a lot about heartbreak. He talked a lot about like stuff that wasn't talked about and wasn't like, brought to light, and wasn't allowed. A lot of stuff that isn't allowed as men to talk about, like taboo shit. But
Yeah, and he also like wanted to like, let them kids, like the people who listen to him, like not to be alone, and saying that he's going through he's experiencing the same thing they're experiencing, to where like African American people, their parents won't help them out in a certain way to try to get them to understand like it's all right what you're going through, like you'll get over it, you know what I mean? And he would always have that message for them to be like, you're not alone in this, I'm here.
So like bringing things to light.
Yeah, pretty much.
Taboo issues.
Mhm.
Interesting.
yeah,
Interesting.
So that's how it would be.
that's dope. That's a good one.
I'll have to look him up. Okay.
I love his music. I love all his music. A lot of it, and it's from the love songs that he has to the sad songs
like-
to like,
Like rap?
yeah.
Yeah, like you'd have to read it to like.
Oh, okay.
It's rap. It's
Follow
R&B. He's had songs with
I know, like,
different.
Some of them are really good, and some of them are
Some
like
of the
you have to
songs
read.
Julian shows me. He's like, Mom, listen. And I'm like, let me see the lyrics because I don't know what the hell he's saying.
Yeah.
And he's like, but there's some good stuff because I read it. And
Yeah, that's how I am too. Whenever Martin's like, "Look at this song," and I was like, "Pull up the lyrics." I don't even want to try to hear
Yeah,
it.
like,
I need to read.
Yeah, and no, his story was interesting as hell because all the songs that he has, all his albums, all freestyled. He just got on the mic, sang it, and that was it. And they all made billboards. They all hit #1. They all got platinum records. He made millions of dollars off of it.
wow.
And he even said it. He was just like, I came from nothing. I recorded everything on my phone. I blew up.
He,
Like,
they,
what a
millions.
waste.
He had all kinds-
Then he overdosed.
well, he did it. Well, he did it on accident. So from my
Oh, I'm sure
correct
he
me,
did it.
correct me if I'm wrong. No, he was on an airplane. Correct me if I'm wrong. He was on an airplane.
Yes.
He had all these drugs, and they were gonna come search the plane. So
Yeah.
he, instead of flushing them,
No,
I think he
tried to
flushed
flush
some.
them.
No, he tried to flush them. They didn't go down. So then he took
Yeah.
he ingested them all.
And he had
And then
already
they,
had
like-
a problem with perks, lean, and shit.
So he
like, to a
ingested on
point,
the like.
They would say a normal dosage for like if you take perks is like 2 pills or anything like that. His normal dosage was 6 pills a day,
Yeah.
and then he would
Yeah.
mix it with lean and like weed, all kinds of other shit, and he would just be high 24/7, wouldn't be present.
So that's how it happened. They were on the airplane and they were gonna search the plane, and he tried to flush it and go down, and then he ingested it all, and then from there, I mean.
Yeah, and a lot of people were like, "Well, we didn't know that he had an issue,"
Yeah.
but it was just like, "Well, you hear his songs."
But then you hear a song, how do
and
you
then
not know?
You have his whole entourage with them, and then nobody like cared to be like to check up on him.
Yeah.
So when you first got your driver's license, what kind of driver were you? Like, were you like when you first
that
got
was
it,
out of left field.
Right.
were
Good.
you like one of those drivers that follow the rules, or like
Of
as soon as
course.
you got them?
Of course.
No, you're not.
Yes. Listen. Only one ticket in my life,
Dead ass.
and I was rushing to work.
Wow.
Yeah, one ticket. So I'm telling you, I'm a good. I
Ramon has
Who
9.
are you, Mom? Who are you, Mom?
Ramon has
I'm a
9.
bitch.
Who are you? No, who are you? Who are you?
I'm a truck driver's daughter.
There you go.
Yeah.
What did that
A
ask her
truck
what it
driver's
means?
daughter and a truck driver's mother.
Wow.
I added that recently. Not very interesting. I was just,
Yeah, no. Ramon has a shit ton of speeding tickets. He has a
Hold on.
record.
First of all, I only have one. That's one speeding ticket. I don't have no more.
And
than
a
that.
hole
Lie
punch on
again.
his
They
license.
Lie again.
Hold on.
whole bunch. What does
Pause.
that mean?
Lie again.
They try to catch me right here in your street. Never did.
There's
yeah,
a cop
they're
that like
looking
camps
for
out to
your
try to
truck.
catch him. We're like almost sure of it. Every Saturday they
Like
camp
speeding?
out because Ramon speeds.
No, hold on. First of all, yeah, I do. I'm not gonna lie. I do speed, but
Yeah, you think we're playing. He hits 120.
Yeah.
Like just
Just down,
regular.
down
there's a
Shaw,
speed bump right here.
down Shaw.
No.
Yeah, he don't care.
You don't care. You'll fly through
hold
that
on.
shit.
First
Bro,
of all,
we
hold
go to
on,
Dutch.
Pause.
We go to Dutch, and I'm like holding on for my life.
Pause. Hold on. I don't
Wait,
do
what kind of car do you drive?
that truck that's outside.
That
white
big-ass
truck.
boat right over there.
Oh,
Okay.
It don't matter what car. He
Bro, the little Honda, I'm like holding on for dear life. I'm like, bro,
nah, see,
not that
but, like,
serious.
it's just how I drive. Like that's how I just.
That's how I drive.
He's like,
yeah.
so I'm just an irresponsible driver.
What does
Nah,
that hole punch on the license mean? You said there was
He has a whole bunch in his license.
What does that mean?
I don't have a hole punch. I don't have a
What does
hole
that mean?
punch.
Tell my mom what the whole punch on the license means.
Hole punch. I don't have a hole punch on my license.
You got,
I don't got no DUI, nothing like that. I swear to
That's
God, I
like
don't.
that's what
If you get a
Yeah.
hole punch on your
If you get a
license,
hole punch,
it's
yes,
a
it's
like
DUI.
it.
I don't have one.
He doesn't
I
have one
swear.
yet.
You're not yet.
Not yet.
They
I
haven't caught
swear.
you. The cops down the street have.
Nah, he's still waiting to scope. So I just like.
He's
mind
pulling
game.
out his wallet.
He said, I'm gonna show you. He said I'm a
He's
good
gonna
noodle.
pull out receipts.
I'm a good noodle. Let me show you. I don't have nothing wrong.
No hole punch.
Nothing. No hole punch. I'm a good driver.
That's
Hey,
crazy.
shout out to the cop though if he watches, or shout out, bro. I know
He's not
where you at.
watching you.
No, he's
gonna
hiding
be
around the
waiting for
corner.
you.
Hey, he's gonna be waiting for me when I go home.
Right?
No, deadass. We think that he sits there and waits because it's every Saturday. He
Yeah.
just camps out, waiting probably for his ass
Yeah.
because he comes fast as hell
Just on the street.
on the
no,
street.
just
in
over
front.
there on the bar
If it's
stuff.
not this one, it's the other one. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
where those new houses are and those rich houses. Like he'd be waiting for me inside like the little field, and I know because I see the front sticking out. So instead of turning that way, I go straight, and I come back, and he's on the other street where I went, and I just go straight.
And we know he's looking for it because there's times that he's parked his truck right here. Cop comes right here passing
and
by.
just watches.
Yeah,
listens
we've
watch
seen
to
the
it.
cop. We've seen him a
drives
few
off.
times.
Wow.
But then
Yeah.
I'm like, do you think that would make him do better? It doesn't.
No,
It doesn't.
look at his face.
Hey, you guys
Well, I
know
guess the
that.
good thing is he's not drinking and driving, right?
Nah,
That's his toxic trait.
yo,
Not today.
nah.
Not yet.
But anyways,
Beyond that, I'm telling you, that's his
Beyond
bed.
that.
The last 2 weekends, he's been good. He sleeps on the couch.
yeah, right.
He needs to bring a toothbrush, respectfully. But you know, it's fine. But it's fine.
Some extra clothes.
I told him. So we got
Some
4
sheets,
drawers here. Pick
some
one if you're gonna
sheets.
spend the night.
Yeah.
Some sheets, clean sheets.
I'm telling you. He sleeps with one blanket and then he's just, shh. He's out.
Yeah. So how do you deal with anger? When you get angry or frustrated, that's one thing that you deal with it.
Okay, I do it in 2 ways.
I'd like to hear them both. She said, I'm not proud of this.
Beats the
So-
shit out of somebody.
No, I know.
What?
So one, lately, I just shut down.
Okay.
Just say fuck that. I just say fuck that, and I'm just not. In the past, I would say that like I fought till the end. Like if I was angry at somebody and we were arguing or
Mm-hmm.
in a disagreement, like I would fight till the end. But I think as of lately, I just shut down. Like, so that's how I deal with my anger. But
Does it help you that you shut down, or is it just?
She said it helps me.
I think I just shut down because I'd rather not
Waste your energy.
like deal with it. Like I just rather not
Engage.
right. Yeah, like, and I think that's part of me like trying to cool down and then we'll revisit it. But that's how I deal with it. Wrong, right, or indifferent, I guess. Right.
I'd be doing that. Not that. I fight till the end. I'm like, we're going to solve this fucking problem right now. I don't care if it's 3 a.m. We're going to sit here and solve this fucking problem.
You know, that's how it was.
That's how I am
Never
currently.
got solved.
And I think he's like, give me a second.
I've
Like, he
always
walks
been
away.
Like, leave me alone. Like,
He walks away, yeah. And I'm like, why are you walking away from me?
I don't got time for that. Like, I don't want to be.
You don't want to say things that you don't mean, or like that's why I do it.
Which I know now, but earlier I was like, why the fuck are you walking away from me?
I also learned like too, like how to control my own self. Like I know myself too, and like I don't think anybody deserves that other side of me to be like, oh, you know, flip the switch on them or flip the script on them because they don't deserve that. Why would I make it worse when we can solve the issue? But let's solve it. Let's solve it on a cool level. Let's solve it when we're both calmed down. Because like Kat does get like no, like, and I'm like, listen, like give me a minute, like figure it out.
No,
like,
that's exactly how it was too.
yeah, and I was just.
I
like,
get my thing is because if not, then I feel like you're gonna be mad at me forever. Because then I'm like, damn, I internalized that shit. So I'm like, if we don't solve it right now, you're gonna hate me, and I don't want you to hate me in 20 minutes. But then he's like, I don't hate you. I need a minute. I love you. That's why I need a minute. Because I'm going to say things you don't want to hear. And then you're going to get your feelings hurt. And I'm like, respectfully, you do that then.
No, that's how I am now. Like, I just shut down and I'm like, nope. Like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't, no.
Yeah.
And then, like, later.
Readdress.
Yeah, because I might not have the same feelings later that I do at that time.
Yeah. And then some.
More than likely I do, but.
More than likely to stand on that shit.
Right. Right.
No, but revisiting it with like a cooler mind or just a different angle from it, I guess you could say. And after rethinking it, then you really sit there and like, all right, you know what? I acknowledge what the fuck is wrong. I acknowledge what's going on, and then we deal with it.
Because when you're in the heat of it, I'm gonna fight till the death, and
there's no point because it's just like one
forth.
upping one another.
Yeah,
that's what I learned most recently is when I am like, we're gonna solve this, then it just gets worse and worse and worse because the more we argue, the more you're like, you're not getting anywhere. So the more we talk, the worse it's getting. And I'm like, okay, we were just like ground level 3, now we're at level 10, like, and we're just sitting here, but it's because nothing's getting solved.
Things start getting said that you don't really necessarily mean.
Yeah.
It's just
Have you ever like received like any questions that your students have asked you? Like, have you ever felt uncomfortable trying to answer them? Like, just any questions in particular?
I guess like because I do teach 8-year-olds, like, how are babies made? And I'm like, oh my gosh, really? Why don't you go home and talk to your mommy about that, okay? Your mommy or daddy?
She said, I do not get paid enough for this.
Right. Or even now, like, I have kids, like, why is that man kissing the other man? Or the other day I saw on TV that, you know, or on TV I saw 2 girls kiss. And I'm like, what do I say to that?
Is it hard, like, knowing about, like, how strict the guidelines are now with the respect or the equality of
are there
LGBTQ?
guidelines like that like as a teacher you have to follow for like the LGBTQ community, or is it just kind of like love is love, like, well,
I just
or the teacher base?
Yeah, I think it's just I just defer it to
where do you stand on? No, I'm just playing.
Like, say it right now.
No, I just defer that to the parent. Like, why don't you talk to your mom or dad about that kind of thing? Because, you know, I wouldn't want a teacher to influence. If they were my kid, I wouldn't want the teacher to influence.
That's what I was gonna say. I've heard of my like fellow student teachers, like, not just like, oh, that's like love is love type thing for like LGBTQ, and they go home and get in trouble for it because parents don't like share the same view. So then they were like, okay, let me not say that anymore.
Right, and then there's just like different religions and different just like there's different religions. Like, you have to, you know, it's hard to know. Like, the other day I had a parent, she came to me after school and she's like, you know, we're Jehovah's Witness, and if you notice, she stands for, out of respect, stands for the flag salute, but she doesn't say in God, whatever. And I was like, oh, I didn't know. Like, I didn't know they were Jehovah's Witness, and so now she can't participate in certain things at school. So, like, I didn't know, but, like, if I made her do it, you know, like, that's not my place.
Yeah.
And so, just the same thing, like, I wouldn't say, oh, love is love, because I just defer it to you know.
Let's talk to your mom about that one.
Right? Yeah, and because that's a touchy subject. There's no guidelines that I know of, anyways, or that I've been told, like, hey, you can't say this or that.
Yeah,
You know,
'cause-
other states have.
Yeah, no, other states do say that they're restricted to talk about certain stuff like that, or there's other states that push that whole thing
Right.
about it.
Well, I have a friend that teaches in Florida, and there's books that are banned in her classroom. Like, they can't have a classroom library. And it's because of the books that they might have in the library.
That is
you know?
crazy to me.
Yeah.
How can you not have a library? And then I think in my head, I mean, I don't, maybe it's the way I was raised, but like the earlier that you're exposed to something, the less, I feel like the less of a chance there is that you'll like be put against it or like
Right,
think
because
that because then at that point it's like normal exposure. Like I'll read a book about two girls loving each other, okay, so then when you do see two moms dropping off their kid, then you're like, oh, they're just another family. Whereas like another family who hasn't seen that is like, no, you're weird for having two moms, and then it turns into like a bigger thing. But maybe that's my issue, but that's just crazy that they have banned books that you like legally cannot show kids.
Yeah, she can't.
Because
have
it pushes
classroom
a narrative. Not that it's right or wrong, but it just pushes a narrative.
library. Right.
It's wild to me. Anyways.
Even at our school, we have to have them sign a special permission slip to check out books that are. I don't know exactly. That wasn't told, but we had to send out a different permission slip for them to check out certain books.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
If you weren't a teacher, what would you be doing?
I'd always wanted to be like a therapist.
A therapist? Why?
One, to learn, and then also too because I feel like
What kind of therapist in particular?
like a child therapist or like a family therapist, like family counseling. Yeah, I would say that. Why? I don't know. I guess, like I said, just to learn, and then I feel like people come to me for advice, and I would like to give them the right advice. Yeah, that's what I.
That's
would've
interesting.
done. And I've even contemplated. There's a couple times where I wanted to go back and get my master's, and it just wasn't the right timing because of the kids and things like that. But
Which she still can do now.
yeah, and I thought about it, but
Do it next year. We can do it together.
right, let's do it together. Yeah.
What motivated you to be a teacher?
I was gonna say money, but that's a lie. I just like working with kids, and I love, and I think Kat can say the same thing. Like I love to see like the aha moment. Like I taught this kid, and this kid got it, and it's just that's so rewarding. Yeah, even with my own kids, but and then just to see like I have the power to teach them this, and it's exciting to see, and I guess that's the reward because it's not for sure, so not the money.
Was there ever a time where you were like, preparing, like let's say for the credential program or in college, where you were like, maybe this wasn't for me, or maybe I should stop and
Damn, this year. This year, just because like behaviors and things like that, it's so different. Like a lot of the districts aren't suspending kids. A lot of the districts, the principals' hands are tied because the district, it just trickles down, and it's just there's no consequences for these kids, and this is the year. Literally 4 weeks into school, I'm like, I think even before that, 4 weeks into school, I was like, I'm gonna look for something else to do because I can't do this anymore. It's
Wow.
too draining.
yeah.
It's too draining. It's getting better. But here we are, almost gonna be Christmas break already,
Yeah.
and that's like almost half the year, and it's barely it's taken this long.
How long have you been teaching?
This is like my 19th year
Next year's year 20.
ish.
Wow.
Wow.
They have it way better than we do, bro. Let's be honest.
No.
Let's be honest.
Who
It
has
was
it way better?
The students.
The students now than how we did back in the day. Because back then it was like they would suspend you in a heartbeat. They didn't care what you
But
did.
I feel. Go ahead.
Yeah, the same. Like I mean, I can see why they don't do it anymore, but there has to be an alternative. Like, kids want to go home. That's what they want to do.
Yeah.
Now, the kids that have
Yeah.
parents, that who cares that they're on their iPad all day? Like, the kids want to go home and do that.
Yeah.
But then there's those kids that they get the shit beat out of them because they got suspended and whatever.
Nah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just.
It didn't matter. I got suspended or in trouble. It didn't matter.
But did it change your behavior? Probably not, right?
No.
Yeah.
I still got an ass whooping.
Bro, just do
that
better.
ass whooping was the same regardless.
You guys just got to do better. That's what it was. Just learn the first time.
No.
No,
Get your
but
ass
it
beat
was-
once and then
hold
learn.
but,
Come
like,
on.
It wasn't even like that though. Like you'd get suspended off like the smallest things. Like it was like
Doubt
the most
it.
unnecessary things. Like there's nothing like pulling a fire alarm. All right, I mean I understand.
See,
You
getting
pulled the
See.
fire alarm?
No, I paid someone to pull the fire alarm. That's different.
Ask how much you
Hit
paid,
him,
Mom.
hit him in hot Cheetos.
Ask how much you paid.
$5 in a minute. Yeah, I'm pretty sure
$5 out of the thousands that the fine was.
Yeah, out of that, but like, I was just like, damn, I got thrown into the mix, obviously, because then they found out.
Yeah.
But like nowadays, I'm just like, yeah, like they have it easy now compared to how it was.
Well,
Like
yeah.
even like cutting the lunch line back in the day, you get suspended for that regardless, or like they'll put you in like RC for that, just for that. Like even if you did it like unintentionally, like you'll still get suspended or you get in trouble for
What the thing that was wild for me is like back then was the school lunches.
Yes.
You know how we were talking about that before about how like certain kids couldn't get the lunch.
Yeah.
They weren't allowed. They weren't
So
allowed
sorry.
to get the burritos. You know, but like that's kind of fucked up. Like
No,
I
that's
felt
what
like,
we were talking about. That it was crazy that kids, like, the school district wouldn't feed you. You'd get 2 slices of
yeah.
bread and like
Oh, yeah.
a
That
slice
cheese
of
in the
cheese.
middle. Yeah.
Like the American cheese they unwrapped in the back. That was like your lunch.
Yeah, I know. I would
that
pay
was
for, we would pay for 4 kids to have
Lunch.
and always reloading that fucking damn thing because we didn't qualify for free lunch or whatever.
I know, but can you imagine the kids that don't and they're eating like 2 pieces of
Yeah,
bread
they
and a
can't
slice of
afford that.
cheese?
I was that person. I'm not
I
even
was like,
gonna cap.
that's crazy that they were like allowed to do that.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yo, and then
So,
they'll
like,
put you
bless
on
up for the free
blast.
lunch.
Or we
Lunches.
would have to wake up hella early just to
you
catch
guys
the
wouldn't
bus.
get chocolate milk. You guys would get white milk.
Yeah, we would get
The white milk, and then they'd be like, "There's no money on your account." And you're like, "Why are you yelling?
And how embarrassing!
Why are you
That's a
yelling?"
kid.
They did that to
Can you
me. They did that to me like 2 times, and I called my mom. I was like, "Why is there no money on my
I was
account?"
like, hold on, let me reload it real quick.
Oh yeah, because then they stop you, and you're like, "There's no money on your account," and then everyone's looking at you like, "Whoa."
I feel bad because there's a lot of my friends that'd be like, well, here, like you can have mine, like you know, and I'll switch with them and I remember I used to get in trouble with that. Remember?
Yeah,
We used to be like, oh, like I'll trade you, like I'll give you my lunch, and then you give me your grilled cheese, and there would be the lunch lady would be like, you can't do that. You gotta give your lunch back.
Oh,
And then there was I forgot what her name was, but she literally like grabbed my food and like put it back on my plate.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck?
At Harvest, they did if when you were in upper grade, you got seconds. So then kids would get seconds and give it to their friends that wouldn't eat, but they'd excuse the kids that didn't have lunch money. They'd excuse them. So then kids were trying to go
I
get
remember
seconds
that.
and then put it in their
That's so
pocket.
sad.
I remember
And then
that
put it
too.
in their
Elizabeth did that
pockets
too.
to take it to their friend at lunch, so then their friend eats. But if it was like the pizza, they would like it was wrapped, so they just put it in their pocket, and then they try to walk out, and the lunch lady would be like, "Let me see your pockets,"
Yeah.
because they literally didn't want you to feed your friend.
and the crappy thing about that is, all the leftover lunch they throw it away.
Literally,
See?
that's why I was like, "Why don't
They
they
throw
like?"
it away.
So then, and then you would get in trouble for trying to sneak food out.
Yeah.
Then you'd have to like stay and wipe the table so you wouldn't get recess. But you were like, no, go. And there were some ways to do it, but like, if there was John or lunch, if the janitor was in there, he was checking us. Let me see your pockets. Throw your plate away. Like, let me see.
A lot of the
was
custodians would do
checking.
the same shit.
Yeah.
It was
That'll hit
crazy.
you with that make my day.
That's crazy. Now I think everyone gets free lunch.
Yeah, now everyone gets lunch and they get free breakfast
And they start late. They start late school.
And a snack too.
Yo.
and a snack.
Because I remember we would wake up hella early just to walk to the bus.
I was waking up at like 5:30, do my hair and makeup in middle school, and then going at like 7. School started at like 7:20. I was
Bro,
like, damn.
I'd wait at the bus stop trying to catch the bus, and there's people already getting jumped, and it's like 4 in the morning, like 6 in the morning. I'm just like, yo, it's too early. There's people getting jumped.
You're
Sometimes
Sometimes
some of
shit
the
out of
peop-
your eyes first.
Literally.
Some of the people at your bus stop need to get their ass whipped though. I remember there'd be times we would go over there, we would just go fuck.
You live-
God, bro.
Mom, he used to live by Green Acres. Like if you're on
Where
Shields
Westwood's
before
at?
you turn,
Westwoods, yeah.
if you're going down Shields, you know how it turns into Clinton? You know how there's that stop right there?
No.
You're at your house and you turn down Shields. You make a right on Shields. You know how it turns into Clinton? But there's a stop right there?
Oh yeah. Oh,
In the corner
yeah.
there's like the trailer park. That's where he used to live.
Okay, I know. There's like a a school there now, right?
Tilly's across the way.
Yeah.
Tilly's is
Yeah.
across.
But he lived right there in those trailer parks. And there were some badass kids right there.
That was fat.
And also, why'd they live right there? And their home school was Roosevelt.
Well, Tilly wasn't built then.
But they had Steinbeck and McKinley, and they sent him to Roosevelt. Isn't that crazy?
That's how it was. Like now, it's not even like that. Now it's more. Well, from what I've seen, like it's more calm. But like back then, I used to wake up, get on the bus, and there's people be fighting already. I'd be like, "Yo, it's too early for this."
That's crazy.
That just bus stop was just crazy.
Like on one hand, I'm like, damn, why couldn't we start school late and give lunch like for free?
Exactly.
But then on the other hand, like then kids don't have to worry about eating. Like kids don't have to worry about eating. Kids get to get to school safely because there's not fog. Like the buses they're like, they changed it for the better. But like fuck us, I guess.
For real,
We lived.
We were the experiment. They were just like, "Nah, we're gonna have child on you."
Well, and can you imagine the years before us? If we had what we had, can you imagine the years before us? We were getting the like upgrade for the other older students.
That's crazy. And for some kids, lunch there at school and breakfast now is the only meal that they get.
I remember that was the only meal we would get too.
Yeah.
The breakfast.
Yeah.
Breakfast and lunch. That was the only meal that we would get.
Yeah. So it's so sad.
Yeah, so easy for them. They had it so
Stop
easy.
being a hater. The next generation deserves some fucking peace. Jesus.
So I'm gonna ask you this last final question: where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Yeah, no, I want to retire early.
Mhm.
But then I don't know what I'd be doing. But I do want to retire early. 'Cause I don't want to be. I would say I don't want to be old and not be able to do things. Like that's why we got my parents to retire early. Like we figured it out to get them to retire early because
then you retire when you're old. You can't walk straight. You're tripping on
you
everything.
work your whole life. You work your whole life to enjoy what 5-10 years of, and you're old. You can't really do anything. So in 10 years, I want to be retired. So that'll put me in right around 30,
That's cool.
or maybe and
I was like,
maybe
no, you're
30
trying to push you're trying to retire before you're 50, or around 50. No.
Cat.
Yes or no?
You know how old I am?
Which gives you like 5-6 more years. That's not 10 years from now.
No, it's Cat. You're saying my age.
Okay, well, bleep it. Okay.
No, I will be over 50. And
Boring.
I will. So either retired or I want to start a different career path. Like a different.
Ooh.
Like maybe something in the counseling or something like that. But,
Good shit.
yeah.
All right.
But for sure retired. And hopefully taking care of fucking grandkids or something.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
That's interesting.
Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm like, in
Just to
10
throw-
years, that
Just
puts
to
me...
throw that in there.
At 10 years, that puts me at 34. I just started teaching, so like I can't do that. Sorry.
Cat, that's 10 years. Martin, that's 10 years.
Don't look at me.
I cannot wait 10 years.
Now look at me.
That's tough. That's tough.
I got the podcast.
I cannot wait 10 years.
Well,
Sorry, just-
talk to God.
Yeah.
Talk to God. Send one up there.
You got other kids.
Send one up there.
Oh my gosh. No,
We'll see.
I'm not going to wait.
Okay. Okay. She said no.
Come on, I
no.
have 4 kids.
She said no. I'm not gonna
Damn.
wait. Mm-mm. You got Chacho is a kid. That is your kid. Chooch.
Yeah.
Well, we thank you for being on the podcast. Thank you for your time. And I enjoy it. I enjoy, talking about how it is,
Cool.
how hard it is to be a teacher.
Do you have
Well,
any
we do.
closing thoughts?
We do appreciate it.
Closing thoughts would be.
She's like, turn in your damn homework.
Stop bumping your heads, guys.
How do you feel about the podcast? Did you?
What
do you think about
it? I listened to it. It's
God
cool.
damn it! No, I'm just playing.
She's like, fuck.
Fuck.
Yeah. No, I like it. I enjoy it. I like listening to you guys all the time. Yeah, I support it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Gang gang.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, so can't wait to see or hear what's coming up. Good shit.
We have a lot of projects coming up pretty soon.
She said good shit.
So we're hoping everything is working right. Right now we got a meeting, so we're gonna figure everything else out. But yeah, no, we thank you for your time. We thank you for coming out here
Thanks.
and making some time. And hopefully, should we make another update? Maybe you come out here
Perfect.
and you don't get as nervous again.
Right?
It's not that bad, huh? After a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not.
See,
It's not. The wine helped a little.
there you
There you
go.
go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for listening for another episode. We appreciate you guys. Ramon, give out the socials.
You can follow us on Instagram _. Oh, whoa, hold on. You can
Whoa,
follow us on. Hold on.
And I be stumbling, and I be stumbling.
Nah.
That's crazy.
My fault.
He's like,
Now you can follow us on Instagram at brokeboys _FF. Same thing for a TikTok. Stay in touch with us. There's brand new projects coming in soon, y'all.
Broke boys with a Z.
Oh, with the Z. I'm so sorry. With the Z. Peace.
Well, thank you guys. We'll see you. Peace.